Well, middle school is the age where it's like what they call the formative years. If you don't remember anything, you will remember the time where you actually were exposed to something interesting. It's that critical moment where someone's life can be sad. And so that's why these kinds of programs are really, really important.
TechREACH is an after-school program designed to increase middle school students' interest in science, technology, engineering, and math.
We do all kinds of activities. We do web development. We also do robotics, some soldering, documentaries. Then we're very fortunate to have a woman who works at Boeing. She will come over and do all kinds of exercise with the girls on aeronautics.
We are having our summer workshops where we're teaching students how to develop their own video games.
Well, in Western Washington, there are only girls in the clubs. And that's important because if you have boys in the group, quite often girls let the boys do the hands-on part because the girls aren't accustomed to it.
Girls learn best in environments that encourage collaboration, not competition. We looked at the data that showed that women and minorities are underrepresented in science, technology, engineering, and math fields.
We're living in rural Washington, and there's not a lot of technology out this way. So some of this is relatively new to this community.
We also found that even in our own middle school, when in the technology classes that we have, and in the like shop classes that we have, most of the students in those classes are male. So even within our own school, we found that the disparity was big.
Most careers today and in the future need to use technology. There's going to be careers related to bioscience and bioengineering, and we need that workforce to be able to work and complete and succeed in these jobs.
The TechREACH program is really designed to serve schools in low-income areas or that have a high population of minority students. Students with limited access to technology, who have interest in technology, really don't have the opportunity to learn what they could really do with it.
Pues aquí no tengo ni computadora, no tengo ni cámara digital, no tengo nada de eso, ¿verdad? Aquí en la casa.
The students that we're serving in Pasco and Sunnyside are predominantly Latino students. All of their parents, for the most part, work in the service industry and in the agriculture industries. So these students have a very limited idea about the opportunities that exist for them in terms of careers.
Many of them struggle with math and science. Many of them struggle with English.
There were a lot of language learners that weren't in any science classes. And it was because they were so new to the country that they wouldn't be able to fare well in a science class at all. In TechREACH, students are able to acquire a language through their active participation. So you can build, for example, a Lego car just based on looking at these schematic pictures. One really great story I have is about a young lady named Izzy. And when she first arrived, she had very few language skills. She really kind of kept her distance, didn't want to say anything in class. And then she started coming to TechREACH, and she just has blossomed. She has this natural ability in science. She's picking up the language. She's developing so much confidence in herself, not only as a speaker, but as an academic thinker.
So I didn't really like technology. I didn't have a digital camera. I didn't have nothing like that. When I came to Harrison, my teacher told me about TechREACH and it sounded fun. We're going to be working with computers, cameras, going on field trips, finding out different technologies and things like that. So I thought it would be pretty fun to do that.
I used to really not like computers. I just didn't want to work with them. And my friends used to always get me stuff, you know, like all the MySpace and everything. And I'm like, well, how come we never on this? I don't know how to work my computer.
They have been elated with the participating in some real hands-on kinds of stuff.
Cuando entró este programa me dio gusto porque él dijo que quería ser diseñador de juegos. Eso fue lo que me dio gusto porque él como que se animó un poco más, ¿verdad?
In addition, we hook them up with mentors, ideally role models that look like them. So if we have a Latino student, we want to match them up with a Latino mentor. And they mentor the students via email. So it's an e-mentoring program with at least one face-to-face contact to really establish that relationship.
And the mentor's job really is to help the young women understand the importance of continuing in school.
That's something I can do while I'm working or at home, sending quick emails. I do like thousands of emails a day probably, so I can do another one and send something to a student.
Mentors typically offer field trip opportunities for the clubs and come out to their schools and do visits and talking about their careers.
A lot of girls, I think, go into education because that's what they see, that's what they know. They know teachers and what they do. But in order to get into another career, you have to know someone who's in it or to even know that it exists.
I think as a mentor, one of the things I can do is demystify that technology is for geeks, because certainly I don't feel like a geek.
When she first started, I mean, this young woman had all kinds of issues, having a lot of problems, a lot of challenges at home, and also with the peer group that she was hanging out with. Just not been very focused in school. As part of the TechREACH program, she just started to kind of open up more to her peers, to the young women, and started developing a lot of friends within that group, and just started helping them. And now she is a leader in the group. And she has made this great connection with a mentor that literally, in some ways, and I don't exaggerate when I say this, has really saved her life. Saved her life.
Language learners never are introduced to the classes that they need to take in high school in order to get into college. So not only are they at a disadvantage with the language, but they're at a disadvantage with how the educational system works.
Sí, pero nada más hasta el número 6. Muy poco, porque como no sé hablar inglés y a veces él no me sabe.
I think parents are thrilled. They love the opportunity for their students to be engaged in an after-school program. They also love the fact that their students are learning about careers, learning about technology, learning about science that they may not get in the classroom.
We're offering parent workshops for the first time, and that is to educate the parents about how they can support their student in STEM and also help them get over some of the real or perceived barriers to having their student pursue a college education.
Y pues, quién sabe si él vaya a poder ir a la universidad.
We also have a college support component where we're partnering with the Washington Mesa program to provide support to the students as they transition into high school and hopefully onto college.
As they develop more skills and more knowledge about technology and computers, that they will want to be able to further a career in STEM.
I want to make designs in the video games.
And I said to myself, well, I have to be in college if I want to be one of those persons.
Many times families don't know of the opportunities. And so it's our job as advocates of students and of the STEM careers and fields to make sure that parents know that these opportunities are out there. If they don't know that the opportunities are out there, then they and their students can't take advantage of them.
The latest thing right now is for them to want to meet twice a week. The impact is profound, and their confidence, their self-esteem, their knowing, like a deep knowing that they could explore anything.
This changed a lot of the ways parents and students feel about technology and about computers. It's not just getting on the internet and having fun, it's actually teaching them skills that will further their career, even give them a better quality of life.
We want students to actually be able to create things and not just consume things. We want students to play a role in changing the way that this world operates.
There's a whole lot of opportunity to be a part of the future, and it's something within their reach.
So I thought it was fun to learn how to use more technology.
Yo pienso que tiene la meta, ¿verdad? Y si él tiene esa meta, yo pienso que él puede lograr. Si sigue en ese programa, si él todavía sigue interesado en ese programa, él puede.
I've learned that I actually am very good at putting stuff together and finding out what goes somewhere and what fits into something else. And my brother always used to be the best at that, but now I'm getting him.
TechREACH made science really exciting now. TechREACH!
This is a very good program.